Welcome tonight to our TMBTRADIO program, Youth and Society. Once again, this is part of our media blitz for Black History Month. And tonight, once again, we're blessed to have another one of my brothers, Richmond legend Raymond Neblett is in the house with us. Thank you for being here with us, Ray.
Oh, man, thank you for having me here, man. Thank you for having me here, brother.
Great. Wanted to have the legend while we have him here tonight. Want to talk to Ray a little bit about himself, his career, his business. Want to talk about what makes Ray Neblett the legend that he is. And for people that know him, know that when I say legend, yes, we're talking about basketball, but we're also talking about what he does here in the community and the impact that he's had for the past 10 years. And so, Ray, just want to say thank you, my brother, for being here with me. And just want you to talk about yourself. We'll start off talking about your youth here in Richmond, Virginia.
Yeah, well, man, first of all, man, talking about my life is one thing, basketball is one thing, but talking about the inner city basketball camp, you're talking about a lot of different people. A lot of people help with that. That's a concept that came obviously later in my life. I learned that, to give is always better better than receiving. And you know the story about that. But, it's a lot to go into that. But tonight, I really want to thank the listeners for listening. I'm really proud of the fact that you have you have a radio show and you are trying to, be a venue for people to come on and, talk about positive things. I've been listening to it myself. I've been on one time before, and, it really is a positive thing you're doing. So I want to give you a big shout out for that. If you have some questions or something that you wanted to ask, that'd be good, man.
Yeah, we have a lot of questions. I'm glad to have you here, and I want to say thank you for acknowledging what we're trying to do. Of course, you being my brother, you know what we do, and a lot of my dealings with the youth here in Richmond, Virginia, actually come. For those that don't know, it comes from you, and you hear me say it all the time that you're one of the guys that when I first returned back from playing overseas, you were doing so much with the youth. And so you were having your camp. I think that was maybe 7 years ago that I jumped on board.
Yeah, I remember the first day. I remember I told somebody, I told one of my friends, I told a guy, I mentioned it just in talking. I said, yeah, well, Milton has committed. Milton said he's coming over and have me work with the big men. And this particular guy, I ain't gonna call his name, he said, what, man, how you get Milton Bell to come out? Man, ain't nobody had Milton Bell at the camp, this and that. And I just, I knew then that I was on to something special because not only you, but Charles Oakley and just so many different guys that I know that played professionally, and I knew that it would be a good hook for the kids to see that y'all would come back and do something positive for the community. Kendrick Warren, Warren Peoples, so many people from Virginia Union. I have a family at Virginia Union, man. I have so many people there, man, that just love the concept. Yeah, it just got big, and I'm so happy that this is our 10th year coming up. It was a lot to get here. It just been so beautiful, but also been a struggle. So we always looking for donations. We always see because our camp is free. See, a lot of people don't understand what free mean. Free mean that the kids in the city of Richmond, praise God, the kids in the city of Richmond got a camp every summer that they can go to and don't have to ask their mother or their father for not one dime to play basketball and to learn the fundamentals of basketball, to learn about life, and to learn the fundamentals of life. That's a very, very empowering thing, because I'm a person that, I love all sports, but I was able to go to college from basketball. I played tennis, I played basketball, football, all of that growing up. I played all of that growing up. And I was pretty good in, most a lot of people, this a Black History fact that a lot of people in the city of Richmond that know me might not know. I was the city champion at 12 years old playing tennis in the city of Richmond, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, I played for Hoskins Field.
Okay.
And I played against Rozelle Lightfoot. A lot of people might know Rozelle. Rozelle played at Hampton. He went on to be a pro. And, just little things like that for our kids to be able to experience these things. It helps them realize that a champion, a true champion, is from within. It's not about the trophy. Now, I don't know where that trophy is for me becoming the 12-year-old champion in the city of Richmond for that 1 year. But I know that it'll forever live in my heart because of what it took for me to get there. You know,
right.
Inner city kid playing tennis wasn't real popular back then.
Of course. Talking about youth and Black History Month and youth and society. Talk to me a little bit about what it was like playing for the legendary Bob Booker. I know he's very dear to your heart. Every summer, he's normally at your camp, supporting you, supporting the kids. Talk to me what it was like a little bit. What it was like playing for a legend.
Yeah, well, it was a blessing. You know, it truly was a blessing. When I was a freshman in high school at JHW High School, which was called Jefferson Huguenot Web Complex, the city of Richmond decided back then to combine all of the schools in the city of Richmond. And so I didn't even know who Coach Booker was. My whole thing was coming out of Albert Hill Middle School, I was going to Thomas Jefferson High School. That was the school zone for Gilpin Court, where I was living at that time. And so when they combined the schools, that means 3 different schools, 3 different teams was coming to compete for one team. And a lot of people, that era of basketball in the city of Richmond is missed a lot of times because it was 3 schools, so all the schools was combined. So a lot of times Jefferson Huguenot Web or Armstrong Kennedy or Marshall Walker doesn't get the props that's due to them in sports, in my opinion, because of that. But when I got to Georgia, when I got to Huguenot, I got to Huguenot, I think I was 14 years old. I got to Huguenot, and when they combined the schools, so it was really, really difficult to make any team. I played football and I played basketball. So I met a person named Bo Jones. I met somebody named Bo Jones. Bob Booker was the varsity basketball coach. And I played football. So football came first. So I met Bo Jones first. Now, I played JV football, and I played JV basketball. And I'm telling you, man, it was so many people going out for the team that it was incredible. Like everybody in the counties, they had their teams already picked, and the city schools were still cutting people and seeing who gonna make the team because of the fact that there were so many kids going out for each position and each. Man, do you know how many people went out for quarterback? Come on, man. So we had quarterbacks, Milton, walking around the school that had played for Thomas Jefferson and literally had made second team all Metro or something, but they had got cut because of the volume of kids that came to those particular teams, came out for those teams. So, it was a blessing to play for Coach Booker. I know he put him in a really, really bad position by combining all the schools. He had done a great job at George Whip High School before they combined the schools, just like Bo Jones and Coach Lancaster actually was the Huguenot coach then, but he left, I think, a year before they combined the schools. By the way, man, Coach Booker, Coach Lancaster, Coach Bo Jones, those guys are legends. Fletcher Johnson, those guys it would never be another time where you had those volumes of guys that literally played sports and was able to deal with the inner city kids as well as take those teams on a bus and take them to Hanover to play against Lee Davis and all those schools. You're talking about Black History Month, so
right.
I think all of that stuff is relevant. I remember playing, and I'm telling you, man, I played in the 80s, in the 70s, 79. I got to high school in 79 or something, but it was still, it was still a level of understanding that we were going to a neighborhood that was not to a gym that was hostile. Listen to what I'm telling you. I'm not talking about going to a particular gym. If you go to George Wolf right now and play, it's a hostile environment. Right. You go to Armstrong, it's a hostile environment. You go to Thomas Jefferson, when you go up in that gym, it's a hostile environment. I ain't talking about sports hostile environment. I'm talking about a life hostile environment. I'm talking about somebody going to Hanover, Virginia, Hanover County, right, in 1981 to play basketball. And I'm telling you, the bus driver, the coaches, and everybody knew that we had just entered Hanover County. And they might stop our bus and we might not play that game. See, because we might run into the wrong coach or the wrong police officer. And the bus driver might make the wrong decision and turn or something like that. And anything could happen. So everybody was on their P's and Q's. We got to that gym. We knew where we was. It wasn't about our coach telling us to be dignified. Our parents had already told us what it means to go to Hanover County and play a game, even from Gibbon Court. I had a sensational mother. I had a mother, man, let me tell you, man, I had a mother that I know for sure was a devout Christian. I'm telling you, man, her principles is what I teach the kids today. The whole thing about me is all about her. And I have 9 brothers and sisters. It was 10 of us. And I'm telling you, man, for all of the hard times, we had some really, really good learning moments. And it's all about the inner city. It was all about us being dignified and appropriate and still strong and, being humble but still being strong. I don't know who told somebody that if you have to be, that if you call or if you consider yourself trying to be humble, that you have to be also trying to be soft. And I explained that to the kids. Humble don't mean soft, man. It was a lot of power in the fact that, and they teach us the story about Jesus, how he turned the other cheek. Let me tell you how strong you have to be to not say something to somebody when they have said something slick out the mouth to you. Or to not say something to a racist person that is your school teacher. You need to get that grade and you going in this class every morning knowing that this lady do not like black people for whatever reason she had at that time. So when we went to Hanover County to play football, not a single friend was in the house other than the few people that came from the city to see the game. Now, our coaches wasn't not friends with the other coaches on the other team. He caught it too. So you ask about Bob Booker or Fletcher Johnson or those guys were monumental examples of how we act under pressure.
That's so deep what you're saying. You called out some true legends from our day when we played basketball during our time, and those names ring out. You named Fletcher Johnson and Bob Booker, of course, Frank Threes, Pierce Callahan, George Lancaster. The list goes on. And so those were guys that...
It'll never be an era of those type of coaches, man. I pray for the kids that they do. That's why we try to do so many grassroots programs to help our kids get ready for coaches, help them get ready for school teachers, help them get ready for stuff, man. We have programs for adults. Sometimes we call it job-ready programs. We might have a job-ready conference. You going to Atlanta for your job to learn how to do your job. Stuff like that. Where our kids they're not privileged to have those type of things. So the grassroots programs got just like a mental institution. They don't have those things no more. They got jails. It's either black or white. It's either jail or death. You can't make a mistake and get yourself back together these days. So we have to have something there, not to catch our kids, but to warn them before they make these bad decisions, And I'm telling you, man, I'm a person that learned the hard way about making bad decisions, man. I'm telling you, man, bad decisions wasn't in my future growing up. No, it was. I had a powerful mom, had powerful influence. People, you just named a couple of the coaches that was in my life, And let me tell you something. Coach Lancaster, I never played for him. But he's been my coach my whole life. From summer leagues to seeing me in different skills camps and stuff that they would have. He always pulled me to the side and said stuff. He knew that he had to play against me.
That's right.
He knew that Coach Booker didn't want him talking to me.
Right.
But they showed us, man, that it's all about being a man first, It's all about being a good person first. It's all about you caring about your parents and caring what your parents think and not embarrassing your parents, not embarrassing your family and your lineage and what black people understood about the country they was in and us trying to learn as much information as we could and through the lies that they told us from Christopher Columbus to whoever. All these things was distorted truth that we had to, I literally had to put that Christopher Columbus discovered America on a test or flunk. I would have got points taken off on the test. I'm old enough for that to be true. Like, you know how people nowadays, we know that Christopher Columbus really didn't discover America and this and that. Okay, well, I didn't at that time. I had to listen to what they told us from the criteria from the federal government that they told us to, state of Virginia or whatever, man.
Right.
So we know those things are not true now. We have the internet now. We can Google things now. And I tell kids that, man. Nobody should be flunking tests.
Right.
Nobody. Nobody really, honestly, need a tutor. When you have Google, you have these things that can help you. You have all of these tools that we can use. But the spirit of our kids and the spirit of the city, man, I just want to speak life into stuff, man. All this sadness and all this trouble, it don't feel right to me. Right. I just want to, I just want somebody to come with me and go to the inner city. And I know it sounds just like some kind of Hallmark card, man, or some feel-good story, but that's not my life. I'm not no feel-good story. Man, let me tell you something. I didn't go to prison for something non-violent. Let me tell you, I was the most aggressive player on defense that Virginia Union probably ever had. And that's saying something because we had the greatest group of guards from Warren Peoples to Keith Valentine to Derwin Lilly to Steve Silver, Doug Cromartie, Eric Thompson, Joel Bledsoe. Man, listen.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I wanted to talk a little bit to continue on your career, and then you went to Virginia Union University. So you left one legend with Bob Booker, and were blessed to go and play for another legend in Dave Robbins. And so talk to me a little bit about the best show in town. That was during my youth, and I must admit that I was at, you and I talk about this all the time, I was at every one of those games. And so for me to have you here with me today and to talk on the phone with you almost every day is big for me because I grew up on the best show in town. So let's jump right into that. Talk to me a little bit about that time period. That time.
Well, that right there was it was a really, really powerful influence on me. I met Coach Robbins at a summer league game, and I would think I was 16 years old. I was a junior or senior or something in high school, and I met Coach Robbins and he was one of the speakers at the camp. It was a summer. We played the summer league game after the camp. Had the camp in the daytime at Virginia Union, and then the summer league happened right after the camp. So we would have to hurry up and leave and make it to the game. I remember it like it was yesterday. And he told me, he said, Ray, because I talked a lot. See, I talked a lot when I played basketball. Had a chip on my shoulder. Because at that time, and combining the schools had a lot to do with that too, because it was like the people from George Whip had to prove to the people from Huguenot or the people from TJ that they should be starting in front of them. Listen to me, man. You had a starting team from Thomas Jefferson High School, a starting team from Huguenot High School, and a starting team from George Whip High School coming to play, and who gonna be the point guard? Who can be the power forward? These people was all Metro. Some of them guys was second team on Metro. These guys was junior. They're going to be a senior this year. It was a really, really, hey man, it was very, very intense. So I had a chip on my shoulder coming from Gibbon Court because I knew that if anybody made the team from TJ, it probably wasn't going to be the kids from Gibbon Court because some of my peers was acting in a way like you see the kids act today. Some kids not about sports. Some kids not about being appropriate. Some kids are not about, and it ain't because of their parents. It ain't because of, it's because of the decisions that our kids make that feel good to them. Most people, even not a child, most people do what feel to their lower self. We don't deal with the higher power and the higher self, not at the crucial times, not at the nightclub, not when your friends are around, when it's peer pressure and you feel good cursing. I remember the first time my mom heard me curse, man. I remember I felt like I had let her down. It just was a curse word. I think it was damn. It wasn't a bad curse word, but the fact that she was such a devout person, not just a devout Muslim, she was a devout person. She was all about humanity. She was all about human rights, not civil rights. She explained that to me. So for me to let her down, so you got to love somebody to be able to be in control. Nobody can control you if you never have a love or a connection with them. So I had I had 9 brothers and sisters that loved me the same exact way with that pureness of love, loving me against all odds, loving me even though I'm looking like I'm loving myself today, loving me in my mistakes, loving me through, everything. So to have that, you got to get them to understand that. That's why I do so much for the kids in the inner city. I said, Ray, why your camp free, Ray? I said, Ray, what in the world's wrong with you? You're not a rich person. You don't have a lot of money, Ray. Ray, you from this job to that job, Ray. You got a young son. You got stuff going on, Ray. What is your camp still free for? Because I, as a person, growing up in the inner city, did not have the money to pay for a camp. And my mother had 10 kids. So why in the world would I ask? It's not no sad story, man. This is a story of hope, man. Listen to me. If you're listening on this radio broadcast, please don't sit somewhere feeling sorry for Raymond Neblett. I've been delivered from all those things. I understand. I'm over top of those things. I'm on top of those things, man. So I got on top of myself. So I understand that the only thing that ever stop anybody is themselves and what they believe in and what their commitment to something is, man. So I'm committed to the kids in the Kid City of Richmond because of my life.
That's so deep what you say. I'm witness to it. Like I said, this is my 7th year, going on my 8th year. This is your 10th year in total. And so it's incredible what you are able to do with pretty much help from your friends and people that want to see you succeed and want to see the inner city kids succeed. And so it's your 10th year CEO of ICB basketball as well. And so I want you to talk a little bit to the people, for those parents that may be listening or those kids that may be listening who have not had a chance to attend one of your free basketball camps. It's the only camp in the city of Richmond that I know of where there's absolutely no money involved at all. Totally free. Trophies, food. I think you feed them every day. Talk a little bit about your ICB program that you have going on 10 years.
Yeah, well, ICB, inner city basketball has become a brand. But before it was a brand, it was just I felt like I was pregnant with an idea. Now, a man literally physically can't be pregnant. So it was a pregnancy that went on in my spirit. And I just knew. So I was working for a company that we went into the school system. We was mentoring in the school system. I'm not going to name the company, but was working at Armstrong and all the alternative schools. We'll talk about this a little later, but I just came home from prison in 2005. And I did a nice long time in prison. I came home in 2005 and I got recertified with my, my little degrees and everything, my education. And I went working in the school system. And I was determined that I was going to do, and I was going to show the kids and tell the kids all of the pain that I went through because of the decisions I made. Let me tell you something, man. I'm not a person that went to jail and was doing a whole lot of stuff before I went to jail. No, I was all Metro basketball player, football player, a good person. I was a good person. I understood the principles of life because somebody taught it to me. My family is a good family. So there was no reason other than the fact that me being selfish, me being not understanding how my behaviors affected people, and me just getting out into the world. Me going into college, me putting down the principles of life that was taught to me so good, Taught to me so good. So that's why I understand the kids. When you say, well, why are you making this? Some kids say, man, I don't have no mother, Mr. Neblett. I live with my aunt, or I live with Coach so-and-so, or whatever it is, man. And I tell them, you arm yourself with the principles of life, and you'll be fine. Tell the kids that play basketball, I say, you arm yourself with the fundamentals of basketball, and you'll be fine. Think about it. If you're on the basketball court and you know how to pass, you know how to shoot, you know how to dribble, and you know how to play, you don't have a problem. Basketball is not that hard once you know these things. See, the principles of basketball. What is that, Mr. Neblett? If somebody open, pass the ball. Don't dribble if 3 people checking you. You're not playing basketball no more. Okay, so in life, when you do that, it transfers right over to my life. And I didn't understand that then, so I had some problems, and those problems and those decisions I made, took me out of my community, away from my family, away from my kids, and God delivered me from those thoughts, from that process that put me there. It was a process, so I know that God is using my story to help somebody else. So guys, so I just stay humble, and I continue every year to, I gave birth to this program 10 years ago. And I really appreciate all the people, and I can't name, it's been so many people, it's been 10 years, man. So it's been so many people that have helped me, helped the city of Richmond kids, man. And there's so many people that I wish I had a list of all the people that ever gave or said anything nice about the people that gave me a second chance to work with their kids. When I was at Armstrong High School, man, I was a 1-to-1 counselor. Man, that almost killed me, Milt. Mm-hmm. That was me sitting up there with one child. Right. Now, listen to this. I'm sitting up, and I'm telling you, every child I had got right in shape. God is so good. Every child I worked with understood, and I'm telling you, their behavior changed. The grades went up. It was just so good. And that was good for me for a minute, because I was just coming home. I wanted to prove to somebody I could work, and I could be a productive citizen back into my society, my community. Because this is my community. I put in work around here. Like, for real, my family and the people, the teachers that worked on me and helped me, and I won't let all that stuff go to waste. But I'm standing up there, Milt, and I got one child that they have allowed me to work with, right? Man, I tell you, man, and that wasn't enough. I get that child's grade quick, man. Child, grades coming up. Child playing ball now, participating in school activities, everything that I was paid to go to that school to do. But that wasn't enough. And I seen other kids that I needed to talk to, but I couldn't talk to them because that wasn't my job. So I had to stick to my job. So I had to sit there with the child that I had got straight. This little boy ain't had that many problems. They're about to put him on medication and give him all kind of pills and this and that. So thank God for the company I work for that believe that a child can be trained to act appropriate. And that's all I was doing. Okay, so that wasn't enough. So one child, nah. So I realized, I said, man, I got to figure out something. So I said, well, I played sports in Richmond. A lot of people I know, guys, got gyms. And so I went and talked to the city of Richmond. I went and talked to Richmond Redevelopment because I'm going to start right there where I started at. I ain't going to the Chesterfield nowhere and get some big, pretty gym and then start working with it. No, man, that's too easy, man. So I work with the kids. Nobody said they'll never play no ball. Mr. Neblett, he can play, but you ain't going to get him on no court. See, that's what inspired me to do this camp. The guys that's lost in the sauce, like they used to say, or the guys that's, the left behind guys, man. The guys you'll never know. Kendrick Warren was one of those guys. He was from Gibboncourt. He's the best player I ever went to Virginia Commonwealth University. I know the little boy Maynard or one of them scored more points than him, but he also shot 300-400 more shots than Kimmy. Right. Kimmy shot. Let me tell you something about Kendrick Warren, man. He was dunking or he was shooting a shot that only got 2 points. Right. People shooting threes now. Maynard shot 700 whatever threes. Kim ain't never shot a three. Right. So he tooled his way to the history, man. History books of that school, man. That's right. Something to be said about that. Right.
Talking about the legend, Kendrick Warren, who is from Jackson Ward, from Gilpin Court, just like Raymond Neblett, and who also comes by always supports you in your camps and everything
Oh
that you're
man,
doing.
come every year. He better come because the camp is in Gibboncourt. It's at Virginia Union. It's at John Marshall High School. Because we have so many kids, we cannot have a quality camp with 300 kids at the Calhoun Center. I don't know why the city of Richmond, praise God, one day would give us. I don't know why the city of Richmond won't just give us the Ed Center. I mean, listen, man, I'm doing a service. And listen, man, I did this 10 years. I understand some stuff, right? But that don't mean that I'm going to take my basketball and go home. I know that God has given me a message to get the kids in the city of Richmond. I'm not in competition with nobody. I'm not running a race for nobody. This is God's work. I am not a preacher. I'm a spiritual person, man. I'm going to lay it right on the line for you tonight, man. Because people need to understand in these days and time, you'll never see this right here, what I'm doing. And what these people is helping me do. It's an army of people behind me doing this. So somebody said this, the Raymond Neblett in the city camp. Every time I hear somebody say that, I just smile to myself. Because I know that this camp is universal. It's international. Because we deal with the universal laws of life. And that's the principles of something. See, you can play basketball, but if you ain't got no principles, people will call you a hog. People will tell you, look, man, this guy got talent, but he's selfish. So we let the kids understand, even the most talented kids, they have to play against regular kids that never had no experience at basketball, never made a team. You learn how to deal with people. We have produced in inner city basketball. We got a starting point guard right now for John Marshall, which is one of the best teams in the whole nation right now. See what I'm saying? Now, do you see me online with him every day? No, because I'm worrying about his life. I don't, listen, then I tell the kids that if you think you came here to play basketball, then you might as well leave, man. I use basketball as a hook to get them in that gym. Then we have some of the best speakers. Man, you should have heard what Charles Oakley said. And I'm telling you, this is the 10th year, but in 2009, 2012, I think it was. Man, that man had the whole gym about to cry, man. Because he was talking about himself. He was telling what it was to come from Cleveland. And about his grandma. How his grandma was the most important person to him. And how his grandma got him straight one day up in that house, man. See, that's what the kids need to hear. Real stories from real people that understand what really struggling is, but also be successful. Our kids can be successful. You know what they need? Hope.
Hope always helps, and especially our inner city kids, like you're talking about. Me, like yourself, I'm an inner city kid, product of Richmond Public Schools, and so it's. I think it's one of those things where you and I, when we do your camp or when I'm doing stuff with someone else or whatever kid I'm dealing with, whether it be my own students or my own sons, you kind of feel that extra sense of motivation to help an inner city kid. I can't explain it. I try to teach all kids the same, but when you have the chance to teach kids that walk the same halls as we did in Richmond Public Schools, at John Marshall High School, at Henderson Middle School, I'm also attended All Saints Catholic School. So when I have a chance to coach those kids, I coach them a little harder. I put everything I have into them always, but you want those kids to succeed because you know what's ahead of them. And so now these kids have so much more that are pulling at them socially, educationally as well. But it seems as though the peer pressure nowadays with the computer and the phones and the social media, it seems to be a lot for a kid to have to maneuver through the minefield of life.
Yeah, and I understand that, and I'm telling you, man, that is probably 90% of the people that's into child care or care about a child period, just a regular housewife or somebody that care about a kid, would probably say that, man. But I'm telling you, man, if it can be, it's not about therapeutics anymore. And people need to understand that therapeutics was a concept and a method somebody thought about to help sick kids that really do have a problem. It's some kids, man. It's some grown people. Listen, man, it's people that have a problem and they really need help. And you should go help them. But these kids in the inner city, man, they got a behavior problem. That don't require a bunch of drugs. That require the principles of life. You have to tell them, do unto others as you have them do unto you. They have to start at birth. It cannot start when you get to school. Your teacher is not responsible for your behaviors. And please, somebody need to tell people that. So that's what I do. So that's why my camp is free, because I don't need nobody coming in there telling me what not. I'm appropriate. I'm very educated. Somebody thought I was just some guy from prison that came home like I see several people do, and I understand that. And I'm so happy and proud for the guys all over America that come home because some great people have made mistakes. That's all that is. So let us back into society. We have paid our debt to society. Let us help you, help the kids. Well, maybe that's a struggle for some of the politicians because it ain't going to go right with their constituents to have Ray Neblett on their list, man. But I'm telling you, your programs is not working. You have to get grassroots with these grassroots problems. How is the world somebody got a grassroots problem, but they don't want a grassroots program? Right. How you got that? How you do that? How you sick, but you don't want a hospital? How you spiritually sick, but you want to never go to church? You don't want to hear nothing about no preacher, but you know for yourself, in your side of yourself. That's why we tell the kids, everything going on in the inside is really the most important thing. And he said, what you mean by that, Mr. Neblett? What exactly do you mean by that? What is a character, Mr. Kids ask me all that stuff, man. And I am prepared because I have worked on my own self. I've worked on my own character. I've had to be forgiven. See, some people don't want to tell somebody that they had to be forgiven. But they're sitting up in church on the front row of the church. Jump up every time the preacher says something. As soon as somebody tells somebody got in trouble or something happened in their life, they cut them off. They don't want to see him no more. They don't trust him no more. They'll never be able to come in my house no more. All of those foolishness that comes with you just being too bougie. See, you're too bougie. So you have to understand something. In the inner city, man, bouginess ain't worth a dime. Right now, $1 American in Venezuela is worth $25,000 or 200-something thousand dollars and all that. Well, that's how much your bougie is worth when you walk into Creighton Court or when you walk into a project in New York, a project in Alabama, a project anywhere, because people is struggling. They don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that, and they have no use for it. So what you're going to have to do is get yourself out the way. I had to do that. The first camp that I had, I thought it was going to be 50 kids, Milton. I'm telling you, man, I didn't have enough water, soda, hamburgers or nothing for nothing but 50 kids. I did not know. I looked up, it was 100 kids, man. And I didn't have but one facility at that time, and it was Calhoun Center. And it was 105 degrees. All you got to do is go to Facebook or go to Google, man, and just Google my name, Ray Neblett, Inner City Basketball, man. And you'll see, man, it's 10 years of us just giving kids blessings and love. And the show never ain't about me. I'm telling you, so many people. I can just name so many people, man. I wish I had it wrote down somewhere, man. But the new sheriff of the city of Richmond has been running my camp, being at that camp, and giving all she... Let me tell you something, man. This lady is a real leader. And let me tell you something. We have picked somebody this time. I know it's a lady, and I know it's a male chauvinist people in this world. But let me tell you something, man. This lady here, man, is a born leader. She know the city of Richmond. She know people in the city. And I'm telling you, man, she is real. And she has helped me with this camp meal for the last, I think 7 years or something, man.
All right, she's been there every year. I've been there. For those that don't know who Ray is talking about, he's talking about the new sheriff that we have here in Richmond, Miss Antoinette Irvin, who has been there every year. I've been there 7, and you said she's been there before I got there.
Man, look, man, I'm talking about Dave Robbins. Man, I can name so many people. Marvin Taylor, Look, man, that Harris, the Richmond Police Department. Look, man, Jesse Hicks. You know who Jesse Hicks is? Jesse Hicks is a WNBA player. Took her time all her life, come over there. I'm talking about not just come over there and shake somebody's hand and like she over there to be some star. I would have to tell people who she is. Listen, man, here's Jesse Hicks over there. Played for the University of Maryland, All-American. Know where she from? Gibbon Court. Talking about Charles Oakley, Sylvia Walker, man. She is a Hall of Fame girls basketball player. She grew up right with me. Listen, man, a lot of people don't know who Sylvia Walker is, man. Sylvia Walker's name get lost in the sauce for some reason, man. Sylvia Walker was the best. Boy, please. Come on, man. Carl Adams for the Richmond Police Department. She just does so much to help us. Miss Clovia Lawrence, man. I'm talking about Terry Davis. Listen, man, Terry Davis' son played for the Portland Trailblazers. Somebody right now. Terry, I remember when Terry got off the bus at Virginia Union. I remember Coach Robinson said, because Charles had left. Charles graduated, went to the Chicago Bulls, right? A lot of people think he went to the Knicks, but he got drafted. He played with Jordan like 2 or 3 years. He used to send us back tennis shoes, man. Kept it real. See, he's a real person. Know where he came from? Cleveland, up in the project somewhere. Now, so you say, do you need a badge or something? Are you trying to give kids a badge, Ray, for living in the inner city? No, I want to give them pride in their community and hope that no matter where you came from. See, that's just where you came from. That don't have nothing to do with where you're going.
Right.
That have nothing to do with where you're going. People lock somebody in to their area code. And I'm sick of that. Let me tell you something here. When I was in high school, right, I used to meet some of the most, listen to me, man, some of the most finest women went to my high school. Do you hear me? Some of the most finest women. I would name some of them, but I don't want to embarrass nobody. But listen to this. You know what, man? I, living in Gibbon Court, with all of the stuff going on in the 80s, you have to understand, in the 80s, Richmond had 185 murders. 173 murders. All that while I was in high school, middle school, all that was going on, right? No girl mother wanted to drop her daughter off in Gibbon Court. Man, let me tell you something. Coaches and everybody, they didn't know. They didn't know because I knew how to act appropriate because my mom showed me how to act. You never knew that's where I was from, right? But my homeboys knew, everybody knew, but Milton, I'm telling you the truth. Listen, I would get dropped off on Chamberlain Avenue, up there by McDonald's, and walk back to Gibbon Court sometime. When I went out on a date, let me tell you what these kids dealing with, man. So I understand that. So I don't play that. I want them to have pride. I don't want them to go through that, feeling that shame, feeling that guilt, feeling that like you did something to earn where you live at or where you coming from. Man, that stuff was a handicap in my own personal life. No, I'm not tolerating that. That's why I give them great quality.
Right.
I wish somebody would bring me some fake T-shirts or bring me a fake trophy or bring me some old cold meal and want me to give it to them a cheese sandwich or some old crap at my camp. You know, you've been there. All hot meals.
Of course.
I'll tell you something, man.
And it's such a beautiful thing. You have your family, you have your sons, you have all of your sons there, you have your wife there. It's a beautiful thing to see your sisters and your brothers and everybody. Talk to me a little bit about fatherhood and family.
Let me tell you something, man. First of all, I am so thankful to be a father, to have, I got 3 sons and 1 daughter, right? And I tell you, man, I just been so blessed that they have the good spirit in me. All of my kids, none of them grew up in a project. None of them grew up so much under the pressure that I grew up within the city of Richmond. With a big family and all of that, right? And I hope don't nobody listen to this today think that me growing up in a big family done anything to me but show me what love is, show me what unity is, and show me what real love is, man. Show me where my roots is, man. Them 9 brothers and sisters that I got, man, that I grew up with, man. I wouldn't trade that in for nothing. I don't care if we lived in Africa. It doesn't matter. I need them they stood by me through so much. Damn, a prison. Man, prison happened. I was 26 years old when I went to prison, Milton. And I was 40 when I got out. So, I wasn't nobody to play with at that time. But at the same time, I'm not nobody to play with today. But I use my mind today instead of a gun. I try to lean over there and help the brothers that's doing the midnight basketball thing. Shout out to them, man, because they are dealing with kids that's 18 to 32 or something like that. I go over there and speak to those guys, man. I went to something this weekend with Miss Clovia Lawrence, Community Clovia. She's doing a really, really, really good job of trying to promote the grassroots program and grassroots ideas. Need to be some new ideas, people that got titles need to do what their titles say. The teachers need to really, really work on getting themselves all the way accredited. The schools need to really, really push helping our kids that we know they behind the 8 ball. You know a child ain't got no parents, so you know the parents scrambling right now. So lean over there and help them. I know it ain't your job, but take them some food. Or get with an agency that can take them some food. Right. I mean, keep it real, man. Let's stop walking past stuff. I tell people all the time, I go talk at different conferences, and I explain to them, if you have a household, if you at home, and you got a son and a daughter, and something is on the floor, right? You listen to me, brother? If something is on the floor, and nobody picks it up, everybody keeps stepping over top of it. It may be a washcloth. It may be something that don't be on the floor. It might be a plate, a spoon, something that can hurt us if we leave it on the floor and then use it, right? Right. So that's what they're doing. So that's what we do. We leave things. We walk over stuff. We see issues. We see concerns. And we walk over them. And I'm tired of them walking over these kids in the city of Richmond. I'm just completely sick of it. And when I worked in the school system, they had me working with one child. And that bothered me, and I figured it out. And when I went to Calhoun Center and talked to people, I had a camp meal. 100 and something kids came up the street. That was the first year of my camp. The next day, it was almost 200 kids. That was on a Monday, it was 70 kids or something. And we was inside the Calhoun Center. It's a true story. We was inside the Calhoun Center, right? Tuesday, 165 degrees. Look back over that time, 2009 in July, man. It was hot as fire, right? Incredible. The people would not let me in the Calhoun Center because they felt that I had not done the paperwork correctly or something had happened to me. So I would have to take them kids outside of the Calhoun Center and outside on the basketball courts outside. Man, let me tell you something, man. Before the day was over, it was on Channel 8 News. I was out there with all them kids. I'm going to tell you, it made me cry. Right. And people said, Ray, some of my friends, they joke, and I joke, I laugh, but in the inside, I wasn't laughing. Right. Because I felt like you should have been crying too, man. See, because when I grew up in Gifford Court, man, they opened up that Calhoun Center. The pool was open. This and that. Nowadays, man, let me tell you, the kids over there in the summertime, they don't have nowhere to go, nothing to do. The Calhoun don't belong to Richmond. It belongs to Richmond redevelopment and all of that. So the game changed for them. So they left out in the cold. So the adults with the political, everything going on with them, right or wrong, whether the adults is right or wrong, the kids left out in it. Man, I couldn't take it, so I went over there, man. So God has blessed us. This is our 10th year, man. So many people have helped us. I'm really, really glad, and I'm getting started early this year because I wanted to be really, really special. Some of the people listening might not even know what camp I'm talking about, man. But I'm going to tell you something. I'm talking about something real special. You can go to Facebook, look at Inner City Basketball, Raymond Neblett Inner City Basketball. You can hit me up on there. My phone number is 804-283-3759. 283-8759. You can make donations. We can set up for you to give donations, water. A lot of times people, I tell people they don't have to give money. They can give water. They can give help with the T-shirts. It's just small. It's a grassroots camp, and I'm gonna keep it like that, so I can give the message that the kids need to hear, something that's got weight and depth to it. Something got to get down inside our kids, and it got to be strong enough to stay there. See, this little flyby feedback that we giving our kids on Instagram looking at naked people. Our kids is on Instagram looking at people shoot, literally kill people. We didn't have that graphic. We could read about it, but we didn't have those graphic visuals of things, man. And it's very sad for us to keep on walking over it. Like we talked about earlier with somebody walking over something in your own house. You see that dirt in your house. Man, go ahead on, get the mop and get that stain off the floor. So we got a bunch of stains in our community, and nobody is able to do it. So we got to go back to the grassroots program. Grassroots program have swept America up I don't know how many times, man.
Right. It's so deep what you say, because it's conversations that you and I have daily. But it's beautiful to hear other people that maybe don't have a chance to know you, get to know you, or maybe don't know you yet, or has not been to a camp. They can hear you tell how you feel. And so I know that those words are heartfelt, but it gives people a chance to hear you. Of course, it's our part 2 of our interview with Raymond Neblett here on TMBT Radio. Youth and Society is the name of our radio show. And for Black History Month, I thought it would be an honor, a privilege to have Raymond Neblett here with us. We have him here, and we're blessed. Talk to me some more about the impact that your program has on these kids, the impact that you feel. Of course, I tell you all the time that you don't truly know what you're doing. I don't think it has hit you yet, what you're actually doing for these kids, but tell me what you feel.
Listen, man, the impact that I would hope and I would pray. And every time I talk, I always ask God, will you please let me say something that's going to help somebody else, because you have done so much to help me, Lord. I always say that to myself in a quiet spot, because I'm going to tell you something, man, it's the impact is the only thing that matters. So I know what the impact is. The impact is the child calling me, or the police. How about that? The police call me and tell me, Neblett, we got a kid in Kroger's. Listen now. Got a kid in Kroger's. He on aisle 2. He got a whole bag of chocolate candy or something stuck down in his pants. Mr. Neblett, we took him to the office in the store, and the police officer saw that shirt. See, the Richmond Police Department helped my camp. Mm-hmm. So this is the impact. Talking about the impact, this child didn't go to juvenile that night because they called me, told me he won't give me his name, Mr. Neblett. He got this T-shirt on. I know what I did? I got up, went all the way to the damn Kroger's up there on Broad Street somewhere, out my bed, got up, went up there, and told them people, please let him go. And I ain't gonna say nobody's name, Lord bless him. But I told them, this is the truth. His mama and daddy is in there selling drugs in that house. He's not going to tell you where they live, or he's not going to tell you his real name. Let me deal with it. And the police department, bless their heart, they wouldn't do that. They said, no, Mr. Neblett, I can't do that. You got to give us somebody's name. I made the little boy give me his aunt name, and the aunt came up there and got him. Do you think I'm promoting them selling drugs? Hell no. But I know one thing. Had that little boy told him that, his ass would have been in foster care somewhere. See, it's a dilemma. It's a dilemma, man. In my program, the impact has on it is just enormous. It's just enormous. Now, a lot of people might not agree with exactly what I just now said, but it's the reality of the situation is the little boy right today is still in school. His mom and them, I don't know what they doing, but I know the aunt realized that somebody had to step in and help him. So now she is like the caretaker of him. Now she is, because he's really, really smart. He's really, really smart. But he was up in the store stealing. And because it was some food, the police officer said, Neblett, I called you, man, because I know them one of your kids that got that shirt on. And I tell the kids every year, please don't put that shirt on if you plan on doing something wrong. And that's the impact of that shirt. And that's why you don't see me. I just don't play around with it, man. I'm
Well, that's
really,
why you've
really
been
serious
able
about it, man.
to maintain focus for 10 years and help these kids and make an impact. Like you said, you make an impact in their future. And so us as coaches, as former players, we were their age at one time. So we know exactly.
And then from a positive standpoint, man, because I hope that wasn't negative, but a positive standpoint, man, we got, last I can, man, we got almost 31 kids that done went to college. We got almost 14 kids that done already graduated college. We got kids right now that's freshmen in college. So do you think I take the credit for that? No, I give God all the glory for that. But these kids has been touched by ICB. Now, if you want to take the chance and not have ICB in their life and not have something that they can go to in the summertime and be themselves and be free and be appropriate and get a lesson and get empowered with the lessons and the principles of life in basketball for free, eat good, meet great people, can network and get themselves in a private school and this and that. I have people from the private school come over there and they want some of them kids, man. See, because they realize not only that would their basketball team get better, but they can help a child.
Right.
See, they can help somebody, man.
Well, that's what you do, man. You have so many kids. It's funny, the impact, like you said, you mentioned some of the best point guards in the city right now are kids that I actually met at your camp. So it's funny.
I can name them, man.
It's funny the impact and to see the kids grow up. Some kids that I met 7 years ago, and now you see them, they're playing high school basketball or they're playing college basketball.
Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. Do you know that it's a kid right now playing for Shaw, right? Last name is Kelsey. His last name is Kelsey. His last name is Kelsey. We call him Scooter the Shooter. Let me tell you something. Scooter is playing for Shaw University right now. We got him when he was about 9 or 8 years old. Scooter is the number 1 3-point shooter in the country. Did you hear me?
Number 1.
He's the number 1 3-point shooter in the country, in the whole entire, over Duke, over North Carolina. He don't miss that many shots, man. And he's shooting from long range. Let me tell you something, man. That is exactly what I did in college. That's exactly the skill set that I had in college. And I put that right with him, put him with some good people, put him in that gym every day, Milt, and his talent shine. So did so man, listen, man, the impact, you asked what the impact is, man. Let me tell you, I talked to his mom. She sent me stuff about him almost every day. He's about to be, make all CIAA. I'm about to go down to the tournament and see him play. When they played Union, Union is my school. When they played Union, I was cheering for him and cheering for Union too. So some of my friends said, Ray, what'd you keep jumping up every time? And I explained it to them. I said, let me tell you something, man. I've been working with him since he was 10. When I go to high school games, I go to Armstrong versus TJ or something, you notice I never wear the colors of either school. Right. I never wear the colors, even though, so the kids won't say, Mr. Neblett, you going for John Moss? See, I deal with all the inner city kids. I got kids on each team at George Whip. I talked to Coach Coker the other day, man. Let me tell you something, man. Hey, man. Coach Coker, man, Darryl Watts, man. Those guys is putting in work, man. They on the front line for
Shout
our
out to
kids.
Coach Darryl Watts that was just on our show last week.
Come on, man. That man putting in work, man. Darryl was over there. One game I went to, they had 6 players, man. They had about 7 players. They had the JV players or somebody. Not because nothing bad. Somebody, mama died. Darryl dealing with some stuff. Darryl had to go to the funeral. He had to go do this and that. He the coach. He had the coach. The little boy look up to Darryl. Right. So the little boy grandma died. Then somebody else, the 2-3 of them caught, they flew up in the house one way. Man, listen, man. That man won some games with 6 and 7 people because them kids believe because of Darryl. Right. It's about giving them belief. It's about giving them some hope, man. Listen, man, they got to uphill battle. The kids, the youth of today, got an uphill battle, man. It ain't
do,
easy.
brother.
It's not easy to put the game down.
It's not.
And read a book or put the game down and do the stuff old heads telling you to do. Right. It's not easy doing that, man. You can't disrespect them. One kid told me, man, let me tell you, man. Kid told me, said, Mr. Neblett, I'm in a gang. I looked at him, man. I said, listen, man, I can't disrespect them. I can't say it's not a gang, but I have to explain to them, man, you and 3 people from your block. Now, you got one little radius. You got one little block. Let's just say, for instance, is North Avenue, from North Avenue to, Brooklyn Park Boulevard, whatever. Yeah. It's one block, man. Right. It's not a gang, man. Don't put that on your chest. Don't get on Instagram with money. And don't do all that, man, because they use all that stuff against you when you realize that you was wrong.
Right. Let
me tell you something.
It's deep what you said. Because a lot of the stuff that our youth put on social media thinking it's cool can get you into trouble.
Listen, man,
it happens every day.
Social media is a tool that you can use in a very positive way. Man, you can get on Google and learn how to use a violin. You can get on Google and learn how to put a transmission in a car. Man, there's so many. And I push kids all the time to them for them to do something positive on this stuff, man. I know we can't take it away from them. It's here now.
Right.
So you have to give them principles of life. I got a little boy, he's standing up there, all booty is on his phone. He don't want to can't nobody even talk to him because every time he get on it, he got that phone and he backing himself into a corner. Mm-hmm. He don't want you to see what's on that screen. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to talk to him, man, and he just backing up. Because he don't want me to never see what's on the screen. Right. And then the other little boys tell me, listen, Mr. Knapp, that's all he do. So listen, man.
Tell me something. Want you to tell the people again, all your social media handles, all your phone numbers. I want you to call it out again. The people that want to get in contact with you to inquire about the camp, want to donate to the camp, or just want to talk to you about their son.
Yeah, well, the best way to, you can contact me on Facebook at Raymond Neblett, or you can go to Inner City Basketball, Ray Neblett's Inner City Basketball, or you can call 804-283-3759. That's my direct line. That's the Inner City Basketball line. We'll have posters and different posts coming up from Facebook to your local barbershop. I mean, we've been here 10 years, man. And we just want quality stuff for our kids. Just because our kids, and you know what, and I want to share this, it's not just a project camp. For God's sake, don't think that. Please don't think that. That is so disrespectful for anybody to think that I would do something just exclusively for somebody in a project. Or make the kids in the project feel like somebody just doing something for them, like a handout or something, man. No. Right. It's Chesterfield, it's Petersburg, it's Ettrick, Virginia. Man, let me tell you, it's Amelia County. Man,
came from Texas.
A kid came from Texas last year. It's a concept that people want, man, for their kids. They want their kids to listen, why would you pay a whole bunch of money? Why would you pay a whole lot of money for somebody that won't even tell your child to say yes, ma'am, or will tell your child to say yes, sir, or to tell your child that it's all right to open up the door for Miss Jones with them bags in her hand, or to tell your child, man, let me tell you something, man, don't charge your aunt for washing her car. Why is you charging your grandma for washing her car? Just give you a ride where you going.
Right.
See, we want our kids to get those grassroots principles back. We got to bring that stuff back, bro.
We're going to bring it back.
Got to bring it
Talking
back,
a little bit, we're going to have to wrap up soon, but before I let you go, I wouldn't be able to let you go without asking you to talk a little bit about Black History Month and 28 days that we celebrated in February. Talking a little bit about what Black History Month means to you and some of your influences.
Black History Month means the world to me because Black History Month is a time for me to reflect of what exactly I am. I'm a black person. So first of all, it means so much pride. It's so much great history in black history. See, we the first history. Won't nobody before us. So we is history. So for us to have 28 days for somebody to celebrate something, that's want everybody, and that's want mainly the kids to understand that your history didn't start in America. So I always like black. I go to looking at the kings, the Mau tribes. Man, I'm telling you, I look past America. I never look at what CNN tell me my history is, and I relate that to the kids, and I encourage them and empower them and tell them, man, listen, man, we were way more than Martin Luther King, and he was a great man. He was so great. He was so great. Malcolm X, so great. Man, but what about Marcus Garvey? You know, what about other? We try to shoot them past what the local and the American people is saying. Because if you want to know really what happened in Cuba, you got to ask a Cuban, man. So we want our kids to be able to expand their mind, not in a negative way. Don't look for what America did wrong to you. I'm not asking nobody to do that. But what I do want our kids to be is really, really full understanding that a lot of people died and a lot of people suffered, long suffering, for you to have this damn computer in your hand. That you looking at Facebook or you looking at Instagram on somebody's butt instead of looking them people up that helped you get to this point. What is you doing looking at what do they call it, a site with porn or whatever on there? And you can be looking at what happened to Malcolm X. You can be looking at what happened to, man, just so many great people you could be looking up. And I tell the kids that. So I use this month as a time to take a pause for so many great people and so many great things that happen, man. Not just in America, man. You know, it's time for our kids to realize. I like the fact that that movie is out.
The Black Panther movie. I was going to ask you about that.
I haven't had a chance to see it, man. But I'm going to tell you something, man.
It's powerful.
Anything that goes in the direction of giving us community pride, pride in our race, pride in our country, pride in our parents, pride in our sisters and our brothers, and pride in the things that really matter. Hey, man, I'm with that, man. So I look forward to seeing that movie. A couple of people in my family saw it, and you know, I'm gonna definitely go see it.
Definitely
go see it.
Definitely want to give a shout out to. I've been receiving pictures online from some of my friends that have been dressing up, going out to see us, supporting.
Yeah.
I really want to give a special shout out to all of the
man.
people that have been going to support it. I think it's made over 200 million so far. And so for all of the African American people, for all of the people, I'm going to go and support it, but especially our people, the African American people, that we go out and support these black actors, black businesses, and support ourselves, because it's a way for us to help ourselves and give back to the next generation. So we want to sign out tonight for TMBT Radio. Also wanted to give a special shout out to Ray's son.
I Am Caribbean Soul Food. That's Ray Loney's shop, and it's down there on 8th and Main. He's a big supporter of our camp. You know, Raymond literally is the director, basically, of our camp. And with his 2 degrees from Fordham and Virginia Union, he understands both spectrums of sports and life. And, you know, he's my son, so we didn't get to talk about that. But what he had to go through for me being incarcerated, you know, in my younger life, all that resonates. So that feedback he get the kids based on that is real, real powerful too. So we want to shout out to I Am Caribbean downtown Richmond. You can get you some Caribbean food, some soul food. One of our biggest sponsors.
And he has a cell phone number on here as well. Area code 804-829-0605. For those of you that may be in the downtown area, he's at 102 North 8th Street, Richmond, Virginia, downtown. And so you guys can check in for lunch with him. They have quite a select menu here. So we're going to be signing off with Ray Neblett tonight. TMBT Radio, our youth and society show. We're blessed for Black History Month to have Raymond Neblett here with us, and want him to come back and to share his message some more. He has some more stuff that he wants to share with our youth and our listeners. So we're blessed to have him here. So we'll be signing out. Thanks everyone for listening.